Welcome to the AEW Dynamite post show. It's your boy AB from DET.
I'm that ball bro for the NYC.
Damn good show from Dynamite and AEW tonight. As usual, it seems like this is a recurrent event. Overall, how'd you enjoy it, ball bro?
I liked it, man. The show flowed nice from start to finish. I think we got some progression, in future storylines. And listen, even before the show started, we had a shocker. Even before the show kicked off, man, like just a further development. Like you thought the Don Callis family was done with, that their numbers were growing. You are mistaken.
Definitely. Let's get into it. AEW starts off with Jon Moxley versus Shelton Benjamin. This match was absolutely incredible. Shelton Benjamin is like Benjamin Button. He's aging backwards. Both of them stood out, but Jon Moxley got the job done, getting the 1, 2, 3, and showing more signs of babyface Jon Moxley, shaking the hand of Shelton Benjamin in a friendly sportsmanship-like manner. How'd you feel about this match, bro?
Like you said, man, I mean, two points you just made. First off, Shelton Benjamin is not human. This man, you gotta Google. Remember, this man is 50 years old, but he looks like he's back in 2002, debuting on Monday Night Raw back in the Ruthless Aggression era. Man, this guy is just it's just unfathomable what he is at this point of his career. But I mean, he's never looked better, and I mean, just so grateful for this run that he has in AEW right now. And Jon Moxley, just babyface Jon Moxley, he's doing ace stuff. He is the ace of AEW, and I mean, like I said, this guy makes you feel you are totally 100% behind him. You are invested, and yeah, man, like this match right here, I love it. Like it was physical, it was a struggle, it wasn't clean, it wasn't smooth, it wasn't like anything choreographed. Like they were struggling. It was a fight, pretty much. It got down and dirty. And listen, Jon Moxley's a grown ass man, and Shelton Benjamin, literally the first hold of the match, he just throws him up like he would throw up like your little 2-3-year-old, son up in the air, like wee, land on the bed and shit, like just nothing, like a damn rag doll. German suplexes like galore. You just giving Mox the business. But I mean, look, the match went into deep water, and Mox, like he's used to all the situations, got caught in the triangle at the end, but he just he leaned into a pin to Shelton's shoulders to the ground. 1, 2, 3, ekes out the victory just as time was about to expire. And like you said, reaching out the hand, showing a sign of respect. I'm curious to see what the rest of the Death Riders think of that right now. It kind of feels like Mox is doing his own thing with the Continental Championship, and the Death Riders are doing their own thing. It's only a matter of time, I think, until they have that little conversation like, yo, are we on the same page, or are we going down different paths, man? We're gonna have to sit this one out and talk about future plans together.
Definitely. Before we get into this trios match, could you break down the situation we were talking about off air, and also discuss the segment backstage with Ricochet and the Demand, or with TNA and WWE on a free agent?
So even before the show starts, we have Renee Paquette in the back, trying to get an interview with Jet Speed, that reportedly they were taken out by undisclosed assailants. And in comes Ricochet. He's trying to check on Jet Speed, and trying to make sure his opponents are in good shape. It's good sportsmanship from my bald king. But who knows? Accidents happen in the workplace. We all know how it is. And then Don Callis is there, bouncy on Jet Speed's head or whatever help. Jungle Boy out, man, that's all hogwash right there. Our ball king is innocent till proven guilty. But oh man, you thought the Don Callis family was done growing numbers. You are sadly mistaken. As who comes into the frame right there, the newest member of the Don Callis family, Mr. Jake Something, who you recently just saw on TNA programming. Nope, he's not Jake Something anymore. He's Jake Doyle. And who's right next to Jake Doyle? Mr. Mark Davis. And if that's the tag team that we're going to get in AEW, holy crap, these dudes are going to cause some massive damage. And look, I'm sorry to say this, but this is the reality right here. I'm sorry. Jake Something is on promotional material for TNA's debut episode on Impact next week. and he just signed a contract with AEW. I'm sorry, but that is a big L in my opinion for TNA. He could have been a major player, possibly in their main event division, which they need. They need so badly right there. They need their own talent. They need their own identity. And to lose Jake something before your debut episode on AMC, I feel that's a massive loss. But guess what? A loss for them is a huge gain for AEW. I mean, a massive get, not just for AEW, but the Don Callis family in general. Man, what a pickup.
And with that takeout, there was room for Jack Perry. He needed 2 more partners. So his partners are none other than the Young Bucks. So now we get the Demand versus the Young Bucks. This was an incredible match. It took all 3 of them to take out Ricochet with an EVP and then a knee to the head. That is triple teaming, and it should be called cheating and not allowed. But in this match, they let it fly. And unfortunately, the man and our king of all the Bald brothers, Ricochet, takes the L. And shout out to the Young Bucks gear. Kind of reminded me of Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels, the Rockers days. I loved every second of that, but I didn't love them cheating against my Bald King, Ricochet. But Bald Bro, how'd you feel about this trios match?
I love this match, man. Listen, I love the fact that the Young Bucks, they got their old music back, they got their old presentation back with the gear. And listen, even in defeat, the Gates of Agony, our boys, freaking Bishop and Toa, they looked amazing. I mean, that spot where Toa, not 1, not 2, but 3 guys stacked up on his shoulders like a triple Samoan drop. Like, these dudes have, listen, from last year up until now, they have improved so much. I mean, you got to attribute a lot of that to our Bald King and Ricochet, like the guidance that the road that he's setting these guys down, the path to success. It is something to be acknowledged, something to be celebrated. Even though tonight is not that night, they continue to improve on a day in and day out basis. It's still early in 2026. Like, we just started. They are on the path to success. Like, even though it's not tonight, I'm still have faith in these guys right here. And even though they didn't get the pin, they didn't get the win, they got the last laugh at the end, because who came out? It was Jake Doyle and Mark Davis and the rest of the Don Callis family taking out the cheating ass Bucks and that dirty jungle Jack Perry. Get them out of there. Just be coming out all bandaged up, but you know what? They all hobbled up, but we'll see what happens here. But like I said earlier, huge get for AEW and getting Jake Doyle going forward. I cannot wait for that tag team of Jake and Mark Davis. Ooh, man, they are going to cause massive damage in that tag team division.
Definitely. Next segment, this was pure entertainment. Willow Nightingale had her celebration. Now she shall be called 2 belts Willow, as she is the TBS champion and one half of the tag team champions. Her partner, Harley Cameron, was out there along with the world heavyweight champion, Chris Statlander. They were celebrating, and they knew Mercedes wanted to come out. So she came out in her little veil like it was morning, and she was just so sad, losing belt after belt after belt. They offered her some cake. She didn't want it, but they gave it to her anyway, smashed it in her face, and then she gets slammed back first on the cake and laid out by Willow. This was pure entertainment. Her face with all that icing on it was classic. Your thoughts on this segment, Bro?
Man, this is a great segment. I want to say great. No, I can't say great, man. You don't treat the GOAT like that. You don't treat
Not at all.
You don't treat Ultimo Monet like that, just giving her cake in the front, cake in the back, cake on her head, cake in her backside, and all that, cake in places that you shouldn't have cake in. It's
whoa.
It's just, I'm keeping it PG. Don't worry, man. But
right, okay,
it is so disrespectful. Ultimo Monet putting this women's division on the map, and Willow Nightingale, everyone calls her the sweetheart, the biggest babyface in the world. Nah, she ungrateful. She evil in her own ways. Embarrassing Miss Mercedes Monet like that. Who was Willow Nightingale before she faced Mercedes 2 years ago? We don't know. Nah, I love Willow. Don't come for me in the comments section. Chill, relax. But man, listen, it's very easy. They're telling the easiest story right here. she's falling down. She's falling down the mountain right now. She's losing each belt one by one by one. And who doesn't love? Listen, she's gonna be down on her luck. She's gonna lose everything. She's gonna feel worthless and like a zero at all of all those belts. But who doesn't love a great comeback story in wrestling? So you know what? As enjoyable as the downfall might be, the comeback story of Mercedes Moné later in 2026 will be something to behold. She will be the greatest comeback story in all of professional wrestling 2026. I can't wait for it. But right now, like I said, she's gonna have. I think, Beast Mordos, man, you're gonna have to help your babe out, clean out all that cake, man. Take care of your of your goat Monet right there. But yeah, man, it wasn't a good look for her tonight.
Not at all. One thing that was a good look was this man who's been on fire lately. I'm talking about Bandito. And he goes up against Sammy Guevara, one of the pillars of AEW. Sammy with this new little greaseball mustache is absolutely working right now. Keep it going. But it didn't work enough for him to get the win as Bandito hits him with the 21 plex, gets the 1, 2, 3, and afterwards there was a little altercation with him and MJF, his future opponent for that AEW World title. MJF tries to get the better of him, but he does not. Bandito is the man standing as he gets the one up on MJF. It was a great little moment with the two of them. I'm very much looking forward to this match. But how'd you feel about Sammy Guevara versus Bandito, Barbara?
Let me say something real quick. Let me tell you something real quick. The Sammy Guevara disrespect I see on my timeline all over social media. Why Sammy in this match? This shit gotta stop. All right. This guy is not just a pillar. Like, I feel like he gets way too much hate. But when Sammy steps up to the plate, when he gets an opportunity to shine on Dynamite on the big stage, this man does not miss. And look, he and Bandito had a great match. I listen, like I said, the mustache. You know what? Listen, we all can't be blessed to have like full, beautiful beards like myself. So he's working with what he's got. It looks okay, but maybe grow it out a little fuller. But listen, I love cocky Sammy Guevara. I love just overconfident Sammy Guevara. I mean, he is smooth in the ring. He knows how to work. And I'll say it right now, that Sammy Cutter off the rope. Sammy Cutter over Cody Cutter any day of the week. It is beautiful.
Whoa,
Sammy Cutter over Cody Cutter
on my watch,
Come on, man. Listen, he's too robotic, too stiff when he does that cutter. But Sammy is just smooth like butter. Okay, like he don't miss. Everything goes like that, man. I love it. But man, listen, this Bandito's on a whole different level right now. Hit that 21 plex for the 1, 2, 3, and that damn MJF thought he was gonna get the better of him. Having John Cruz out there trying to translate, and Bandito has a mind of like, damn it, I speak Spanish, you son of a. I mean, I speak English, you son of a bitch. I know what you're saying.
Right.
I mean, come on, man. Like, but wow, they're gonna have a great match next week on Maximum Carnage. Next week might not be Bandito's time, but in the future, he is guaranteed he's going to be AEW World Champion sooner rather than later. He checks all the boxes, man. Him and MJF are going to put on a clinic next week.
Definitely. The women next up put up on a clinic. Toni Storm goes up against Marina Shafir, who to me is like the, I don't know, how do you call it? Most improved wrestler, but it's hard to say that because her improvement has been stretching over a span of a year, but she is just killing it. This year, she could take a huge leap, possibly getting a women's single title. But tonight wasn't her night as her buddies came out from the Death Riders, pulling out Toni Storm's referee from the ring, getting disqualified. Marina Shafir gets the win. Afterwards, she knocks out Toni Storm. Mina Shirakawa comes down. She gets knocked out. Luther tries to get involved, and even he gets a piece. It looks like Toni Storm, Marina Shafir, the story is not over yet, but this match was great. And like I said, Marina Shafir, I absolutely love her right now. She might be like top 3 of my favorite wrestlers across all brands right now. What'd you think about it, Bob, bro?
I love the match for what it was for. Like you said, the improvement from Marina Shafir has been great. I mean, you know what? She is the definition of doing less is more with her. She's not doing too much. She's not doing anything that's outside of her comfort zone. I mean, as a former MMA fighter, as a jiu-jitsu practitioner, I mean, what she's doing in the ring, like that's her comfort zone right there. You know what? And in the future, you expand a little bit, but there's no rush right now. She is surrounded by the perfect group to help her grow as a professional wrestler, and John Moxley and Claudio and the rest of the Death Riders. Like she has a very bright future, and of course her husband and being Roderick Strong. You know, I mean,
Right.
like just the weird kinks they be doing in and out of the ring, man. Like, is freaking wild. But listen, I like the finish. You know what? You do the disqualification, you protect both of them. Nobody gets beat right now. I think that could be a pay-per-view match down the line, maybe for a singles title in the future. We'll see. But I mean, you know, you had Cassidy, Roderick Strong come out for the save to get the Death Riders out of there. And I don't know, man, that damn Orange Cassidy, I don't know. It's weird. One week I'm thinking he's a home wrecker trying to take Tony away from Mina. But now he finishes the night with both of them around his arms. But he got Luther looking over the shoulder like a pissed off dad that just caught his daughter with the boyfriend in the bedroom right there. But guess what? It's the daughter, the boyfriend, and the best friend. So he got to clean up that whole mess, you know. But it is what it is. Orange Cassidy living that good life right there. Like, who would not want to be pockets himself right there, man? His hands in his pockets, his hands all over Tony and Mina for the win.
Dubs for Orange Cassidy.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, the main event, the lights out match. These lights kind of freaked me out in the beginning. I didn't know what the hell was going on, but shout out to Prince Nana's outfit with them lights flickering. That shit looked absolutely amazing. Bedazzled genius right there. But next up, it was incredible ring work from all of them. Even the Ops Dojo guys came out, tried to get involved, but it wasn't enough. As Adam Hangman Page, Swerve Strickland defeat Hook and Hobbs by submission. Great ending to Dynamite. One side note, when Hook came out, I was the only one saying he looks legit. He's a tough guy. People just kept telling me, even Rose on our own show was like, I just don't believe him. Now that he's a heel, man, I am just not feeling this at all. It's making him look real weak. Hopefully somewhere in the near future he can turn this around, but I am not feeling this version of Hook. But anyway, this match, main event, lights out. How'd you feel about it, bro?
Yeah, I mean, it was a good match. Like, honestly, I didn't like how they were playing. I saw what they were trying to do with the lights in the beginning. They were trying to do like the spotlight action, you know, following like both you know, whether it was Hook, Hobbs, Hangman, or Swerve, wherever they were. I understand they were trying to do like following spotlights, but listen, this is a wrestling match. Like, this ain't the opera or freaking orchestra or whatever. It ain't gonna work in a wrestling match. So thank God after the first commercial break, they put all the lights on. All right, we tried it. We ain't never gonna do that again. I thought the action was okay, but if I could be perfectly honest, it's a lights out match. It's a no DQ match, like false count anywhere. There wasn't like, I don't think the action was like anything too crazy that we've never seen before. Not too violent. No one bled. I mean, but then again, it's Oklahoma, so each state has their own athletic commission. So we don't know what's allowed and what isn't allowed. So, you know, we'll find out.
Sammy was bleeding, so it
well, no, I think that was accidental though, because he was bleeding through his nose. So
true,
I mean,
true.
You can't control that. But yeah, I mean, as far as what they were doing, it was basically, I guess they did as much as they could for what's allowed in the state of Oklahoma. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I found it funny when the Ops guys came out, because it was the first time they really like got physical with whoever was in the ring opposite of them. Like, I hope we find out like who those guys actually are, like independent wrestlers, you know, local talent in the area. Hey, it's good exposure for them. But you know, listen, the team of Hangman and Swerve, like, you know, they just overpowered, man. Like, too much for Hobbs and
way
Hook.
too much.
And I kind of agree with you on Hook, and like in this direction he is right now. It kind of looks like he's playing like the chicken shit heel, you know, trying to play coward, run away. But you've been this tough guy, you know, for the first 4 or 5 years of your career. I don't know if that's gonna fit for him going long term. Hopefully they review it, they fix it going forward. But I mean, you know, it was a good match for what it was. That dead eye and Swerve stop combo onto Hobbs, onto the cinder blocks, that looked nasty right there. You think his head actually hit the damn concrete. That was a good one. And then just choking out Hook with the chain over the ropes, like a la like beating Moxley at All In. that was a good touch right there. So, it was a good solid match. Like cap off a very good night of action, but let's see what's next for Hook, and let's see what's next for Hangman and Swerve going forward. How much longer is this friendship gonna last? Because they both can't be champion. One of them, only one of them is going to be MJF, or maybe none of them. But we'll see. We'll see how things progress going forward.
To rate this AEW Dynamite, I think tonight I probably have to give it an 8.8. It was a solid B+ show in my book. But you, bro, on a scale of 1 to 10, what are you rating Dynamite tonight?
I think I'm right there with you. I'll give it an 8.8 as well. I think solid action from start to finish. You progress some things going forward. Like I said, I love the surprise before the show with Jake Doyle.
Big
now.
News.
I mean, like I said, that's a blow. I don't care what it says. That's a blow for TNA. And like I said, 1 week before you're supposed to start your new venture into AMC, like you needed talent like that. You needed your own. So I don't know. We'll see what they have in store next week, but that's a huge get for AEW. And like I said, I am excited to see what him and Mark Davis do together in that tag division. But hold up, before we go, we did not mention another big note of news. Like, we got to go back to the conclusion of the trios match. Like I said, we had Jake Doyle and Mark Davis out there take out the Bucks and everyone, and it looks like they had the odds even when Jet Speed came out. Lights go out, and who comes back to start the new year for the third time debuting in AEW? It is Mr. Andrade El Idolo coming back to AEW for the third time. You know what they say, third time's a charm. And it looks like he finally got out of that non-compete clause from WWE. So it looks like things have finally been figured out. Roosh hooked him up with his lawyer, and we all know his lawyer. Just imagine if his lawyer is Roosh. That would be the funniest shit,
right?
Man, like it's like the joke, like yo, you see my lawyer, man? I'm going to jail. Nah, I see my lawyer. I'm getting out of that non-compete clause right there, man. Because he wants my lawyer, you get the horns right there. That's what happened to WWE.
Right.
They won a bull fight with Roosh, man. So they tapped out and said, "All right, Andrade, you could go do whatever you want. Just get the bull out of my face." But yeah, Andrade back in action, man. Does he pick up with Omega like they did a few months ago? We shall see. But when that match happens, I will be seated, and I can't wait.
Shout out Shayla, shout out Matt the Duelist, and shout out Noah805 over on Instagram saying Andrade versus Kenny, Tony, book it. I'm with that for sure, Noah, 1000%.
Absolutely.
We all, the 7 of us aren't just on the Holy Shhh Podcast. We all have outside podcasts that we work on as well. But so, bro, talk about Group Chat Wrestling and what you guys got going on over there.
Group Chat Wrestling Podcast. Follow us on YouTube, Spotify, and all podcast platforms. We are 79 episodes strong right now. Episode 79 will be uploaded tomorrow to all the platforms I just mentioned. Please watch the next episode. We do our end of year rewards for the year 2025, and I do a brief review of Tanahashi's retirement match against Okada at Wrestle Kingdom 20. Group Chat Wrestling Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at GW Podcast UK, and as well as on Instagram and TikTok, GW Podcast UK, for new clips from every episode every week. Thank you for your continued support.
And myself, I know we were supposed to launch my solo podcast, Honest with Abe, on the 1st of January, but we had this huge blockbuster interview that I had to do. So we pushed it back just a week. So this weekend, make sure you check out the first episode of my new solo podcast, Honest with Abe, streaming on all platforms. But most importantly, check it out on YouTube. That's where you can view it the best. But I guess that's it for us. Make sure you guys stay tuned all weekend on the Holy Shhh Sports Podcast. Breaking news left and right with all these coaches firing. The wild card weekend is going to be crazy. But till next time, y'all know who it is. It's your boy ABE from DET.
On that ball, bro, for the NYC.
And you guys have been tuned in to the AEW Dynamite post show by the Holy Shhh Podcast. Peace.
Out.